Nottingham Trent University, working with you. Proud sponsors of Working Week.
On Working Week this week, we'll be looking at the Nottingham charity, remember this, Des, takes jobless youngsters and gets them back into work through football.
How could I forget, Rob? This is where I score a wonderful goal.
We're looking on the internet for apprenticeships, then from the apprenticeships we go straight into work from the company, so it's looking great, yeah.
Now, when it comes to pets, cats, dogs, rabbits, everybody has one. But when it comes to chickens, would you have one as a pet?
A pet?
A pet, yeah.
Chicken.
Chicken pet. And you'll be
chicken
with Geordie. You'll be the Geordie lady.
My Geordie accent's coming back when I chicken.
We found a lady that keeps a chicken as a pet. Clock this.
They're great for children, they give them responsibility, learning where the food comes from, and it's fantastic to see the little faces when they're collecting the eggs. So I think it's a slice of the good life. There's something very calming at the end of a very busy day, sitting in your back garden with a cup of tea or a glass of wine and watching your chickens pecking around, talking to each other. They've all got their own little personalities.
And we'll meet the Nottingham woman who's got a bit of a thing for antique watches, which she turns into very attractive bits of jewellery.
Beautiful this is actually. I found a very small watch part and I was absolutely fascinated with the intricacy of it. And then we saw another necklace which was completely coated in pocket watch parts, and I thought I can do that better.
Hello, I'm Rob Pitton.
And I am Des Coleman.
You are indeed, and we're looking back at some of our favourite stories from the run so far, and just looking at this Des, actually, is quite an interesting one, but there's one story that we have to agree for both of us was our favourite.
It was a physical story, wasn't it? Physical story. We went out there, we played football, it was man against man, and I happened to score a few goals.
It was men against boys, and the boys did a lot better, actually. It was a scheme in Nottingham, a charity, which takes jobless youngsters and gets them back into work by teaching them employability skills through playing football.
Have a look at his legs on this.
Yeah, not the belly. A bunch of people playing football, and it's not the sort of thing Des and I can resist. Anyone who's ever played with me will recognise that ineffectual tackle. But Des's goal scoring was as eye-catching as his shorts. It's a lot of fun, but our teammates have a bigger goal in mind. They're all after a job. The youngsters are on a scheme run by Street League, a charity which takes on people in Nottingham between 16 to 25 who are out of work and aren't in training or at college. As well as playing football, they're taught employability skills, and they do English and maths courses and first aid too.
What we basically do is we sit down with them and we try to work out a career path for them, so whether it's going back to college, training or education, whether it's work, it really depends on what they want. So if, for example, they say, you know, I'm looking at a career in coaching, we look at a development path for that and try to get them into that kind of workplace. So we're ideally looking to get them into something that they want to do, not just any kind of work.
The course has a high success rate. More than 80% of people on it go on to a job or training or higher education.
It's fantastic to come off the streets, to get involved on the pitch, making friends, learning how to be employable with your CVs, and yeah, it's amazing.
You reckon it'll help you to get a job?
Yeah, definitely.
What kind of job are you looking for?
Anything really, but gardening, I specialise in gardening. I've got horticultural certificates in landscaping and everything.
For some, it was an easy choice. Samantha Barlow has left college and is looking for a job. Football's already her life. She plays for Notts County Ladies.
I play it even when I'm outside. I was at college before Street League. Now I'm looking for a job, but I decided to take this course because it's football and it's what I do and I love it, and that's what I want to be when I'm older. As soon as I leave here, I'll go down cycling and play it. I'm just dedicated to it. It's all I do. Nothing else. Socialise with my friends, but most of them are footballers, so that's all we seem to do. And here it's great because we do it every day. We're doing a maths and English, communicating, building skills, working to look for work. So it's all right. Everything's coming in together, so it's looking good.
Courses like these run throughout the year and anyone out of work between 16 to 25 can apply to join.
They can go onto the website at www.streetleague.co.uk, and if they're in the Nottingham area they can email myself directly. We also hold football sessions every Tuesday and Friday at Forest Fields, 2:30 till 4:30, completely free. Anyone can come along to that, and it's just a way for us to engage and build up a relationship. And then potentially when our next academy starts, if they're 16 to 25 and looking for something else in life or a second chance, we're more than happy to take them on board.
I don't know about you, Des, but something about my legs in that report reminds me of our next story, which is chickens.
Yes, that's where you're right.
Yeah. But anyway, remember last week we had that fantastic story, Billy No Mates,
Yes.
the chicken, my favourite story from working week. Billy No Mates was a chicken who thinks that he's a human being, so he's got no mates amongst the chicken fraternity.
Yeah, mate, are you going to shut up?
It's your turn.
You can let me have a go.
Take it away. Tell them about the next one.
That was last week. This is how simple it is. That was last week. This week, we're looking at the business of rearing chickens as pets.
That took as long as me.
I wonder if you could just advise me what sort of chickens I need.
Right, okay. Well, it's good news you're keeping them. They make great
No,
pets.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Now, what is the main reason for you keeping chickens? Is it that you want lots of eggs?
Oh, yes. I bake a lot.
After 30 years in banking, Teresa Benham decided to turn her hobby into a business.
I'd got to a point in my life where I decided I wanted to do something different. I'd done banking and finance for years. I kept chickens myself, and I did find it quite difficult to source information, to find products for them without going online. And so I saw an opportunity to do something I really enjoyed. So I had a trial at it, going to country shows with a basic market stand, having a look what demand there might be, and I found that actually there was a real demand and enthusiasm for chicken keeping in back gardens. There you go, darling.
From buying in birds to sell to the public, she now breeds them on a farm and sells around 1,500 a year.
Morning, how are you? Yeah, okay.
So Teresa's gone from giving inheritance seminars to chicken keeping courses.
And that will help with the molting. It's also got a probiotic in it and seaweed, so it will give it a really good boost.
You'd be healthier than me.
Yes.
Her attention to detail certainly seems to have impressed her regular customers.
She's always got loads of great advice. She's got all the time in the world for you. And it's never driven by trying to sell you something. She'll tell you what she believes is best for your chickens, and that comes over with her. And I think it's rare to find that nowadays, you know what I mean? So I appreciate things like that. I'm sure a lot of her other customers do as well, you know.
By the way, we haven't mentioned where we are. We are at HQ.
Yes, this is Antenna. This is where we plan all of our operations and where we get to meet some actual potential stories, because Josie over there, who's the catering manager, give us a wave, Josie, has a bit of a passion for jewellery. Are you wearing any of your jewellery at the moment, Josie?
Come over, babes, come over.
So you made this? Yeah, very nice. Yeah. Now this isn't the only thing Josie does though. She also takes antique watches, that's right, isn't it? Yeah. And turns them into beautiful pieces of jewellery. Here's a new artistic trend for you. Steampunk is all the rage, a fashion which takes inspiration from the height of the Industrial Revolution and brings it into the modern day. And one young Nottingham artist is turning it into a business. Josie McGilvery is based in Hackspace, a cooperative of artists and craft workers on Alfred Street, but she's got her eyes firmly set on her own chain of shops.
My business, Clockwork Lobster, is a steampunk-inspired jewellery design company. So we make lots of pendants, earrings, rings, cufflinks, all from antique pocket watches and watches. We collect a lot of the watch parts and the pocket watches from different auctions, online, eBay. Get a lot of them from Birmingham, from the Jewellery Quarter. We then bring them down to the studio, grind all the rough edges off, clean them up, make any embellishments that we want to. So each one's unique and personalised. And then we take lots of photographs of them, get a photographer in, the models, do quite a lot of photo shoots, and then we put them all up online. A lot of our watches are from the late 1800s, so they're really, really quite intricate. They come completely blackened, really quite rough, and obviously, hopefully, normally broken. So then we can turn them into lovely works of art. They're all one-offs. This one's made from a mixture of vintage and antique materials. So we've got a vintage brooch that's been incorporated with a pocket watch from the late 1800s. So they've all been cleaned up, all ground down and attached and soldered together. That's available on the website, and also so is this one, which is called the one with the cassette tape. So trying to incorporate new and vintage materials. So obviously you've got a cassette tape, which is a bit retro now anyway, along with the antique pocket watch and a more retro watch at the front as well. That's a nice brooch. Here's another pendant, which is more of a steel pendant. It's slightly more modern. It's more early 1900s. And we also have something a bit different, which is some hair clips that are made from the watch faces rather than just the mechanisms themselves. So whatever people ask for, we try to incorporate it and make something different. Everything's new, unique.
Well, that's it for now, but in the second half we'll be continuing the active theme.
Certainly will, because I'll be down Riverside and I'm getting trained by personal trainers.
I couldn't make that one.
No, you couldn't.
Follow my hands, Des. Follow. And time. Well done. Good. Good work.
And Nottingham's got a busy shopping scene.
And there's plenty of job opportunities out there too, Des, and business opportunities too. We'll be finding out how Nottingham Trent University is helping its students to set up retail companies.
If you don't know what to Google, then how do you find it in the first place? So you're seeing more and more businesses that traditionally would have been online alone starting to have bricks and mortar presence as well.
And we'll be looking at the softer side of business.
Yeah, how Experian, which is one of Nottingham's largest companies, how they encourage their staff to have charity.
Charity, mate.
Charity.
Or charity.
It's the impact we have on the charities and schools and the people we volunteer for. That's where the real value comes in.
Nottingham Trent University, proud sponsors of Working Week. Nottingham Trent University, proud sponsors of Working Week.
Welcome back, and if it was football in the first half, in the second half, well, there's a football pun, I didn't realise that was going to happen. It's gyms.
Yeah, I've been along to take a look at the world of personal trainers.
Only around 10% of people that train to do personal training will keep doing it a year down the line. It's a tough business to do well at.
And just before we get into our next link, I just want to say, Rob, you've just become more Geordie as we've
I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I didn't know what's going on, man, to be honest. I haven't got a clue. Yeah, it's just suddenly come back. I think there are some words get you into the accent. I think chicken.
And when you said chicken,
chicken pet. Yeah, it's probably pet.
No, I've completely forgotten what I'm going to say.
So you were going to introduce the fact that Nottingham Trent University is, look, are you impressed with this, aren't you? Yeah. A train of thought is teaching its students how to get into the world of retail by basically letting them run shops here in Nottingham.
I suppose it gives people the opportunity to believe in themselves that they can do it as well.
And we'll be on the street or the road with Experian, with their workers raising money for charity.
Anything at all? Thanks very much. We've got 3 hills. There'll be a challenge on these bikes, that's for sure.
Okay, shopping and jobs as a huge part of the Nottingham experience. We're looking at a company that combines both of them.
We're not doing any of that. In fact, what he meant to say was Nottingham Trent University is trying to encourage its students. Remember this?
We've been doing this for a few hours now, actually, so your brain fuzzes for
There's water in case anyone's wondering. But yeah, Nottingham Trent University encouraging its students to set up retail businesses, and it had the bright idea, Des, of actually just buying shops and letting them run them. Here they are. A young clothing designer with the surname Smith working in Nottingham's Creative Centre. Where have we heard that before?
It's a good size to start off with. You're not jumping too much in the deep end and it's manageable.
They're made from fabric scraps.
Paul Smith didn't benefit from having a group of other young creative people working in the same building, but that's what's happening at Cobden Chambers on Pelham Street.
It's great for the businesses to be able to support each other, give each other advice, because everybody's kind of at a different step on the journey. And working for yourself can be quite sort of lonely at times, so it's really nice to sort of get involved with other people and have a bit of a community going.
The courtyard is used for pop-up events, music and street art, adding to the sense of a venue as well as a shopping experience. And right at the top, another successful startup.
I think the combination of cost, location and availability to the public were three big things for us. We were always on that cusp of going from a homebrew style business into something that we wanted to push to a city centre. I think that with the cost of retail spaces or office spaces in Nottingham being quite high, I think that was prohibitive to us. So having an opportunity here is it's just a massive opportunity for us to grow.
A new creative centre and maybe a glimpse of how shopping will look in the future.
It's about creating a destination for the city, being surrounded by lots of other independent, like-minded businesses. It makes it a lot easier to set something this sort of size up in the city.
Well, let's take a look at somewhere that's right across the other side of the world right now. China might seem a long way away, but it has a pretty important impact on everything that happens in our business life here in Nottingham. And Richard Baker, who's the business editor of the Nottingham Post, should know you've just come back from a trip to China. Richard, where did you go?
I went to a city called Ningbo, on the other side of the world of course, but it's an important place for Nottingham. The reason for that, China's the holy grail, everybody wants a piece of the action there, fastest growing economy in the world, and it's got cities around every corner. One of those cities is Ningbo, a huge commercial centre, a massive port, and it's a place that Nottingham has had links with which stretch back more than a decade.
And over there, have they actually heard of Nottingham in Ningbo in China?
They have heard of Nottingham. Nottingham's a household name almost over there. The reason for that is the University of Nottingham set up a campus in Ningbo back in 2004. It's been celebrating the 10th anniversary of that investment. The important thing about that campus is the fact that it's helped nurture a relationship between Nottingham and Ningbo as cities, and it turns out that Ningbo is now interested in doing business with Nottingham.
I have to say I've been to China as well, and it's a pretty mind-blowing place. What did you make of it as a business journalist?
What strikes me about China is the pace of change, its ambition and its ability to literally get things done. You land in Shanghai and you go to Ningbo, you have to cross marshland, you have to cross an estuary, you have to go across mountains. So what do? They build a straight road across the whole lot.
So you're pretty impressed? You think we could bring any of that back to Nottingham, any of that kind of spirit?
I think there's a real opportunity. They've opened the door to doing business in Nottingham. This is a massive opportunity and it's one we've got to take advantage of.
Punch! That's it, good. Right, now follow my hands as we go. Following. Follow my hands round. It's going to come all the way over here. Now it's going to work all the way back over. Okay.
They say there's no pain without gain, but it looks like plenty of us are up for keeping fit. It's a growing business and more people are turning to personal trainers too. They can be tough though.
Rotate away, reach through, turn through the waist. Excellent. Back up to my hand again. Let's repeat, Des.
Okay, this is a sort of weightlifting John Travolta move. But what's the appeal?
So nice twist through the waist.
Overlooking the River Trent, close to Nottingham Racecourse, is a block of luxury flats with its own gym and treatment centre. I've come to Riverside Crescent to speak to a personal trainer that not only has clients across the world, but has set up a very lucrative business right here in Nottingham. The original movement site calls itself a personal fitness and therapy centre, rather than a gym. Hi, I'm Des, to see Steve.
Good afternoon, I'm Stephen.
Oh, great.
Pleased to meet you. Do you want to come in and I'll show you around?
Excellent.
Come on through.
The facilities are, and let's be honest, lavish. And it's open to anyone. Customers come along by booking private sessions with the trainers and therapists. Clients include people recovering from illness, as well as those just looking to keep fit. The gym was set up by personal trainer Steve Aylward. He's been working at gyms in Nottingham, but was looking for a place of his own.
I actually got a bad injury playing football a few years ago. First time my leg was better, I broke my leg. I was running down the river on the other side of the river, saw the building being built and thought, looks a lovely facility. I wonder if they've got a gym in it. It was literally as simple as that. I turned around from a run, came and banged on someone's door down here and got chatting to the guy that was building it and the person that was managing it. And the rest is history, so to speak.
The centre has around 250 clients who use it, paying between £35 and £50 a session. And it's not just a growing business here in Nottingham. Steve Tongue, my guide for the day, has travelled all across the world as a fitness trainer. You've got clientele across the world, haven't you?
Yeah, I've worked with an array of different clients, everyone from Joe Public, just normal gym users, all the way through to celebrities and athletes. Even in one case, I've worked with some royalty as well. So I've seen a full array of clients. I've worked with lots of different personalities, lots of kind of different dynamic characters. So it's really challenging for me as well from a coaching perspective to be able to do that, and it's helped develop my personal skills as well. Get a nice twist through the hips. Yes, you're starting to enjoy it now. Nice.
You might just want to get fit to look good.
Okay, head, body, breast, arm.
But for some customers, there's even more to it than that.
I've recently had colon cancer and went through a period of 6 months of chemotherapy, which left me very unfit. Steve was recommended by the local Maggie's Centre, which is a post-cancer care centre at the City Hospital. It's excellent because you're getting that personal care and it's not full of young, fit people. So older, perhaps not quite so fit people like myself don't feel embarrassed.
You're just cruising down the river.
Colin's clearly doing well, but my personal fitness trainer, well, he's not happy with me.
After this, will you get me a donut?
Well, we all think of business as being a cutthroat, I think, and ruthless world, don't you, Des? It's certainly true when it comes to our boss. Me. But business does have a softer side, and Experian, one of the biggest employers in Nottingham, encourages all of its employees to do something for charity.
I actually think my link was better, which would have, everybody needed a bit of Experian in their lives, so Experian, and the child's going to go that way, but obviously.
We'll put them both in, and you can choose.
You choose.
Here's the story. Leaving the office early, in fact, these workers from Experian are swapping a day at the desk for a day in the saddle to raise money for charity. They'll be taking the day out riding around on the City Card bikes, Nottingham's answer to London's Boris bikes, promoting green ideas as well as raising cash.
Anything there? 50 miles on these bikes today. It's going to be a long, long day.
That's a long way on
Thank
them
you very
bikes,
much.
isn't it?
It's part of a wide-ranging series of charity and fundraising events by the company across the country. Last year, its staff put in £1 million worth of work for good causes.
Excellent, thank you.
Every hour that an Experian person gives is worth £27. So that's quite important to us. Obviously, they take their volunteering days as a normal working day, so Experian still pay them to go out there.
Around 15 people took part, with a long day ahead of them. Jade, is it a day or a morning off work?
It's a whole day. So
I'm amazed the company lets you do that.
yeah, well, every year everybody in Experian gets 4 days off work, I believe, to do anything charitable. So you know, a lot of people go and volunteer at farms or go and work at schools. So yeah, it's a really great company to work for if you're really behind charitable events.
The money raised will go towards Experian's own charity fund, which helps a wide range of causes across the country, many of them here in Nottingham.
We have a huge impact in Nottingham because we've got 2,000 employees here. We work very closely with local schools. For instance, Bluebell Hill School in St Anne's has helped us to develop a financial education resource for primary schools.
And I don't know how to put this politely, but you don't look like you're dressed for cycling. Are you not taking part?
The last thing I did for charity for Experian was climb the Great Wall of China. I raised £10,000 and never again. That's the hardest thing I ever did in my life.
So the bikes are off?
The bikes are off.
I suppose we can let Jan off, but everyone else had 50 miles of Nottinghamshire's roads ahead of them, and every mile helping to raise more funds for charities here and across the UK. Well, that's it for this week. I think we've had everything in this show, Des. We've had football, a gym, and chicken.
And what I noticed is last week we had jackets on. This week we're just in our shirts. Next week, can we do it with our shirts off?
Well, I don't know, because, you know, if you think about it, here at Antenna, we're amongst the coolest of the cool, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
We don't really fit in, so next week we'll be back out in the street, aren't we?
All right, okay.
Shirts buttoned up, probably. Except for you. Bye now.
Nottingham Trent University, working with you. Proud sponsors of Working Week.